Welcome back. Last episode we left you at Reefton. This episode we continue exploring Reefton and find out why this Oddfellows haul is so special. Then we're going to leave and head for Greymouth, checking out the Slab Hut Creek Dock Camp on the way. Stop off at the Pike River Mine Memorial. Then pop into Blackball and find out what some coal miners did to make their working conditions better. Our final stop was at the Brunner mine before getting to Greymouth. So we welcome you along for the ride. We're still parked up here at Reefton after last episode. Going to check out some of the history that Reefton has to offer. So welcome along. First of all, I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee. While Reefton is known as a gold mining town, there was one significant event that stands out in its history. It's time to check out the Reefton Museum.
It was here in this township, for the first time in New Zealand, indeed for the first time in the Southern Hemisphere, that electricity was used for street lighting.
Reefton's electric lamps still remain on the corner of the streets.
In 1886, engineer and entrepreneur Walter Price had visited Reefton and enthused residents with his demonstrations of electric power.
Residents met here at the Oddfellows Hall to see the demonstration of lighting.
A group of them put money into a private company to build a 20 kilowatt hydroelectric station using the water from the Pike River. Power lines were installed throughout the town, with householders and business owners paying £1, about $100 in today's money, to have power connected. Then there was a flat fee of $3 a year for every light they had on in their building. By Christmas 1888, there were some 500 bulbs blazing.
Just heading around the walking track on the other side of the river to the powerhouse where they used to generate the electricity, which we saw in the film at the museum. So, first part of it is to walk across this bridge. Oh, there's a footpath.
Yeah.
That's good. No cars anyway, it's pretty quiet. There we go. Here's the sign for the powerhouse just as we get off the bridge. Up there.
Here we pay homage to the Pike River. They're saying that the force of it needs to be respected, and they learned early on in the 1870s that it was a great source of power for the area.
Walked along now to just opposite the camping ground, which is over the other side of the river there. It's like a beautiful wee spot for a swim down in there. I haven't tried the water, but boy, I bet it's chilly. It's getting on a wee bit now.
This company that was formed in 1886 had 1.8 kilometres of water race, 200 metres of tail race and 110 metres of rock tunnel, and they had 3 hydro plants. Now they're undertaking it in 2024. They've got 2.8 million of funding secured from lotteries, 1.75 million of water race reinstated, 48 metres of fuming timber cut and ready for installation, rock tunnel secure and ready for water, intake gates in place. Turbines ready, and they're ready for consent. Cool.
So this is a new development. They're building the water race that feeds the power station. You can see here where they've got it dammed up so they can work on it. And on the other side, they're just getting ready by the looks of it to pour some cement, or is this going to be wooden? Is that? Maybe it's just going to be wooden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lift that sign out, but don't know what it's
We'll go and look at the sign.
There used to be a miners' town here, and in the early days of the gold mining, a lot of them banked on here by the rivers in the 1870s, and it was known as Quiscopolis. Thomas Edison fashioned how to use electricity 6 years before they used it in Reefton. And they discovered that the main 3 uses of the electrical age was dynamo, light bulb and wiring. You can spin the wheel here and get the history of Reefton. It's all about enterprise and taking risks, being financial and business savvy. And you might be able to hear the dog in the background.
The stroll back to the camper took us along the Strand again, where we found they had a swimming pool and a lot of other heritage buildings. The final building here is the old pump house, which supplied water to the pool and also to the township.
So here we are leaving Reefton and heading off to Blackball, somewhere I've never been to in New Zealand, surprisingly, because it's the home of the Labour Party, so we're going to go and check it out, and famous for its sausages and salami too, so let's see what we can find there.
Sorry folks, you'll have to put up a wet window for the morning while it dries out. Slab Creek is just 9k down the road from Reefton and is another good place to stay.
Slab Creek camping and picnic area and gold panning, 800 metres to the campground.
So you can stay up here with your dock pass if you've got one. We haven't got the dock pass this year. We're just sussing out other places that you can stay. Always pays to have a planner A, B and C if you're staying somewhere, because A and B might be full. So this is probably one of our B plans. There's a few in here.
There's a toilet. Look at the pizza ovens.
Yeah, it's quite cool, eh? Got the oven there.
Look, I can see how people come here and do a bit of gold panning.
Oh look, that's quite nice. The stream right there.
Yeah, fair enough. It's quite good.
Someone gold panning down there.
He's sitting on the rock, look, doing it.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 spots there, a couple of spots there. There's a picnic table. You can swim, there's a toilet here.
Our next stop is a bit of a sadder stop at the Pike River Memorial.
They set up an area here where families can come and grieve, and 29 miners.
It's been many years since we've been to Blackball, and we're interested to see what it's like.
Turning off the Blackball now, established 1866.
These small towns used to be the backbone of New Zealand.
Blackball Hall. Working Men's Club. Blackball Library. Here's the Hilton, that's one of the places you can stay. Welcome daily from 9 noon. Camper vans in there, I thought.
Oh, is there camper vans allowed on there? It's like here as
and
well.
There's one there as well, yeah.
Can. Suit us.
Right?
Can.
That one there.
Once a town like Blackball was rated by its coal production. Now it's rated by Russell, whether it's got a calf or not.
It'd be an interesting wee place, isn't it? Sails are far.
This is Hilton Street in the 1920s, the business centre when Blackball was a busy coal mining town. Fast forward a few decades from this photo and the town got even busier. There was no need to travel for shopping in the 50s. Greymouth being reasonably inaccessible, people shop locally.
Yeah, music there next Friday. Here we have a town map that sets out all the sites around Blackball. It says you can learn about the famous 1908 strike which formed the roots of the New Zealand Labour Party. Here we have the birth of Blackball. Coal mining began here in the 1880s and the community gained its name from the Blackball shipping line. The company shipped Blackball coal from the port of Greymouth to the bigger ports of Littleton and Wellington.
In 1908, about 500 people lived in Blackball, with about 170 men employed at the mine. They were increasingly unhappy with their working conditions. The underground air supply was poor, causing the men to vomit and faint. Deadly gases such as black damp could build up and the water flowed into the mine from up above.
To try and do something about this, there were 3 wild men. They were the noisiest and most effective advocates for unionism on the West Coast. Bob Semple, Paddy Webb and Pat Hickory.
This is the Workers' Remembrance Wheel. The wheel is dedicated to workers killed in the workplace and to the ongoing struggle for the workplace health and safety. And they've got the names around the outside. And these are replica huts that they slept in.
We decided not to stay at Blackball for the night and carry on to Greymouth. On the way we stop off at the Brunner mine industrial site.
And when European explorer Thomas Brunner, guided by Ngai, Tahu, Maori and Waka caves, spotted thick black seam on the far edge of the Grey River, little did he know that the Brunner would become one of New Zealand's most significant coal mines. Coal was mined here from 1864 through to the 1960s and was key to the early industrial and economic development in New Zealand.
On the 26th of March 1896, an explosion tore through the Brunner mine in Westland's Grey Valley. 2 men sent underground to investigate were later found unconscious after inhaling black damp, a suffocating mixture of nitrogen and carbon dioxide.
Rescuers began bringing bodies out around 11 a.m. The noxious gases took toll on the men and the rescue parties, many of whom collapsed and had to be carried out.
The final death toll was 65, almost half of Brunner's underground workforce. This remains New Zealand's deadliest industrial accident, and this monument was put here to commemorate the event.
This is our final leg of our 80k journey to Greymouth, where we're going to stay for the night.
Here we are in Greymouth.
And that's the sound of the Transalpine train tooting the horn to let the passengers know they're on their way back to Christchurch soon.
There we are, the Candyland Carnival's on. Go and have a look. There we are, it's time for a coffee.
And it's time to say goodbye from this episode. Thanks for watching. Join us next episode when we carry on down the west coast towards Queenstown to pick up our friend who's flying in there.